All right, everyone, it's January 10th, 2015, and you guys know what that means. Today is my last weigh-in of my gluten-free Fat2Fit journey, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of excited. These journeys are kind of tough on me. They take a lot of time. They're kind of exhausting, mentally exhausting. So I'm glad to see this one come to an end, and today is my final results. So I went and got my bod pod tested yesterday at the Intermountain Livable Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'll do my final weigh-in. I got my blood work taken earlier this week, and the results will come back in about a week or so. So I'll post that in a separate video for you guys to see how my blood work and all my other measurements compare to my halfway point, right? After eating gluten-free but the unhealthy way for 2 months, and then how it also compares to my baseline results to see if I got back to fit or not. So this was just a little mini short journey, you guys, and I'm excited to see it come to a close. Whether or not I'll eat gluten again, we'll see. Most likely I probably will have a cheat meal every now and then with some gluten in it. And we'll see how my body reacts to the gluten since I haven't had it for 4 months now. Okay, so let me do my weight and measurements first because those ones are the least important. But my starting weight was, I think, 188.2. And let's see where I'm at today. I haven't checked my weight, so I don't know where I'm at as of last week. Last week I was 192 point something, so we'll see if I lost those 4 pounds this week. And I did not. 191.2. Oh no, I'm a failure. Just kidding. I'm not too worried about it. I'm up 3 pounds. Just so you guys know, even though this is the end of a journey, another one just begins today. So I'm back on track, continuing to, shoot for my goals and change up my goals actually. So not really trying to lose weight anymore. I'm not too concerned about that. Even though I'm 3 pounds off, I still feel like I'm healthy again, which is, by far the most important thing. Okay, my starting waist I think was 33.5 inches. We'll see where that's at today. I think last week I was 34. So today, but almost there, 33 point, we'll just say 33.75. So I'm about a 1/4 inch off, which is good, which means I have less fat right here, but as you can tell, there's still some there, and I know some of you guys, like my wife right now is rolling her eyes. Okay, my hips are, I think I was 39 when I started this journey. Or no, I was 37.5. Yep. And I am 38.75. So I'm a whole 1.5 inches off, which could be a good thing. Could have gained some, muscle mass in my glutes. But I'm not too worried about all that. So those are my measurements, you guys. Let me talk about my bod pod. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. My baselines were a combination of the bod pod and the pinch. And what I did is took an average of the two. So my baseline average of those two measurements was 7.1%. Halfway, after eating 2 months of gluten-free, gaining 20 pounds, my body fat percentage jumped up to 14.8%. Well, the surprise of my latest test, my body composition, was an average of the pinch and the bod pod, and it came out to be 10.2%, you guys. And so yes, I did not make it back to my 7% originally. And for me, honestly, I'm okay with that. I feel lean, I'm not too worried about getting down to 7% again. I know that I can do that, over the next year if I wanted to. But right now, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. It's also a good thing, right? We don't always hit our goals exactly when it comes to certain numbers or measurements like this. And these things are outside of our control. I will say a couple things. One, the only inconsistent thing was this last bod pod test was done later on in the afternoon. So you fast for 3 hours before, but the other 2 measurements I fasted overnight and did the bod pod first thing in the morning. So that's the only change. The interesting thing also is, so my fat mass, I started at 13.8 pounds, went up to 30 pounds of fat in just 2 months, right? And then now I'm back down to 22 pounds of fat. So, I'm on my way back down, losing a little bit more fat. But the other thing that we have to remember is my baseline was done at a time when I was working out doing CrossFit 5-6 days a week. And that's why my body fat was, probably around 7%. Whereas this time I'm only doing CrossFit 3 days a week, right? And I've only been getting back to fit for 2 months. Whereas before, I had been doing CrossFit 5 days, 6 days a week for, almost a year. So anyways, those are my quote unquote excuses, but they're not excuses. I'm just saying those are why my results are the way they are. The most important thing I want you guys to take away from all this is that there's a right way and wrong way to do almost any fad diet, gluten-free included. So obviously that's what I was hoping to demonstrate with this journey. Stay away from the processed foods. Gluten-free processed food is still processed food. The majority of your calories should come from whole foods, not the store, but real actual food. Things that are naturally gluten-free, lean meats, good quality, high quality meats, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, those kinds of foods that don't need a label, that tells you it's gluten-free. And then for a splurge every once in a while, I'm okay with the gluten-free cookies and things like that, if you want your dessert to taste a little bit like cardboard. They did taste a little bit like cardboard. But anyways, I'm glad this is done, you guys. Hope you guys learned something. I'm going to do a separate video with my blood work, kind of recapping all the lessons I learned, the top misconceptions about the gluten-free diet, and then some future announcements for this year. Big things coming in 2015 on top of this journey. So thank you guys so much for your support. Keep living the healthy lifestyle. I know I am. This is not a destination. This is a journey that will continue for the rest of my life, day in and day out. So stay strong. Have a good 2015. See you later.